What is going on, chat man? We are back, and today we are reacting to looking back at the first time Jordan and LeBron were swept. And during my Jordan journey, I truly did not know that Jordan got swept before in the NBA. How? But as you guys know, I'm a huge LeBron fan, but I'm slowly transitioning into not being a LeBron fan. As you guys know, I did kind of admit that Jordan is the GOAT. Okay, I did admit Jordan is the GOAT. He is the GOAT of all time. And if you guys want to go check that out on my channel, you guys can. But, with that being said, let's get straight into the video. But if you guys are new to my channel and you like classic old NBA content, man, hit the subscribe button, man, and join the crew. But with that being said, let's go.
When I decided to go back and look at these games, I
think LeBron got swept at least like 4 times in his career, which is kind of crazy.
never expected LeBron James to look better than, or even as good as Jordan. But what was really eye-opening was realizing how similar things were in 2007 for LeBron James as they are in 2025. We have the hovering at the top of the key, not really doing anything except observing a teammate making a difficult shot.
Good. Nice turnaround shot.
That was an amazing shot, by the way. People said LeBron did play with bums during this era. And I still think that, but I don't know, to be honest. I wasn't really watching basketball at this time. That's kind of crazy to say, but I was very young.
We have his poor shooting.
James misses. 0 for 8.
And the subsequent fear of taking open shots.
What?
You have the turnovers.
LeBron was scared to take an open shot? I swear I've never seen that in my life. If you want to be that guy, if you want to be the GOAT, you have to take that shot. You have to. What?
James dribbled it off his leg.
We even have examples of some of those silly rebounds that he's padding his stats with today. We have the floater defense.
LeBron's stat pad to rebounds? What?
Questionable in its value, but also him losing track of his man, not boxing out, and consequently giving up the offensive rebound. His ball handling skills look familiar. He was even doing this bad acting where he pretends like he's giving somebody advice to take attention away from the fact that he just turned the ball over. Even the no calls, opening him up to finally make a basket.
And there's his first field goal after missing his initial
first field goal in the third quarter. Bro, at this time I was probably 1 year old. So I genuinely, I can't even fathom LeBron only having his first points in the third quarter. Like, are you serious? That's crazy.
8 shots from the field.
Maybe the only difference that in 2025 this would be called a foul and he would shrug afterward.
James for 3. Won't go. Here comes James. Hooked away from behind by Ori, and Ginobili comes the other way.
You even have LeBron James throwing the ball away late in the game, putting it out of reach. Since LeBron fans are stat people, let's start with the stats.
Antonio, which Greg Popovich said is one of the real keys to the series. Bad pass deflected off the rim.
Are you serious? Is this actually a thing? Yo, chat, I am so glad that you guys genuinely put me on to amazing Jordan recommendations and just, showing me that he actually is the GOAT. Because the media never showed this part. LeBron passed the ball to the rim? What?
There are a couple of stats that are on my mind, and the reason they're on my mind is because they are connected to narratives surrounding LeBron James. One narrative has him as the chosen one. He's the man. He's the best ever. But when he's not, then he's a pass-first guy. So
I swear I was stuck in this. I was stuck in this. This is all I used to think, chat.
the problem is LeBron didn't do better than Jordan in scoring or assists. These numbers are actually astonishingly bad. 14 points sounds bad enough, but what if I word it as he made 4 baskets? The rest of it was free throws.
14 points in a finals game isn't, or an Eastern Conference game is not even an excuse. No, like no matter what career. What year was that? That was 2007. So 4 years after. 4.
You only made 4 baskets. You'd better have a lot of assists. He only had 4 assists. That's the same number of buckets as he made. When someone who has been criticized as being a ball hog also has 4 assists, but also produces 49 points.
Bro, he got swept, but I thought if Jordan got swept, he was getting no points. Just the way LeBron was. But this guy has basically 50
points on 50% shooting. I'm left wondering where LeBron fans go to next. LeBron James wasn't even the highest scorer on his own team while being called the chosen one.
There's no way. He wasn't even the highest scorer?
He was tied for second. He barely beat fourth place.
Gibson inside, banks it in. Gibson goes to the basket and lays it in beautifully. Gibson, oh, nice drive. Gibson for 3, puts it in. Gibson has shot the ball well. Does it?
Who is Gibson? I swear, I've never heard of this guy. People say LeBron played with bums. I never heard of this guy.
Again, Gibson 6 of 8 from the field. They've got to get him more shots for the San Antonio Spurs. Pavlovich, okay. Nice move. Good hard drive to the basket. To Pavlovich, drives to the basket. And puts it in. Nice athletic move from Sasha Pavlovich.
But they really sold out, made a commitment on the defensive end, and because of that, trying to guard Parker.
Oh, nice tip in from Pavlovich.
So the Cavs were putting in work. It wasn't like a complete blowout. They got swept, but it wasn't a complete blowout.
Right? That approach is contagious.
Gooden to the basket. And most of them are layups. Gooden, nice fake. And Gooden able to knock it down. Rebound, Gooden, back up and in. And there's the offensive board work from Gooden.
Take a look again at the teammates that scored as much or more than James. They also had significantly higher shooting percentages. No, really, take a look. Those are
Who was guarding LeBron during this series? Because 25%. Who was guarding? Was this a person guarding him that was really locking him down? Or this was just strictly him, chat? Let me know down below, because this is kind of crazy.
Amazing percentages. His teammates did everything they could. And just like today, simply couldn't overcome LeBron James.
Steps back for 3. Won't go.
Tony Parker.
James spinning. The fall away. He loves that shot.
Not that seconds on the shot clock.
James inside. Blocked by Duncan. James for 3. Won't go. James for 3. Won't go. James on a pull-up.
Come in and pinch and get the free throw line rebound.
James misses. 0 for 8. James. This not happening tonight. As he's now.
This was all in the same game? I'm kind of shocked, actually, chat.
Now 2 for 13 from the field.
And you can't argue with Tony Parker.
James misses.
James misses. Something you would hear a lot through that series and through the rest of his career. But it doesn't matter because the media would cover for his mistakes and rewrite history so that people today blame his teammates. In fact, it started back then. Just listen to Mark Jackson right here.
Of LeBron James, he's making plays for other guys. It's those guys that have to step up and knock those shots down.
I believe LeBron.
He was missing so much shots. Why does everyone do that then? What?
James was 2 for 12 at that point. And as I already pointed out, he only had 4 assists in the game. And I showed you what the shooting percentages of his teammates were. And yet Mark Jackson is saying that other guys have to step up. 4 of 16 is really bad. But add to that he only contributed 4 assists and had 6 turnovers. This guy had more turnovers than made buckets.
Saw series in both the first 2 games. Big series in both.
Chat. Do you guys think that he was nervous? Because this was actually kind of a crazy performance. I've actually never seen this out of LeBron. Not trying to be biased or, try to say anything about his skills or something. But That just means he can't show up though. He couldn't go underneath the pressure of Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker.
More turnovers than assists. Why isn't that what we remember in history? Speaking of history, why don't you ever hear about Gibson propelling the Cavaliers past Detroit with 31 points? With
What? This guy was hooping. Why did they take all the credit away from this guy? I've never heard of this guy on the Cavaliers. I've never known that he put on a jersey. People sweep these guys underneath the rug. This guy was 5 for 5 at the 3-point line. He was having a really good game.
incredibly efficient stats. Fanboys, disrespect Gibson if you want to, but show me a time that Michael Jordan had the luxury in 1986 of a teammate scoring 31 instead of making Michael Jordan carry the burden.
Facts.
Let's take a quick look at Game 2's stats before we dive deeper into fanboy excuses, because I know they're coming. Congratulations to LeBron James for moving.
Oh my gosh. The points ratio is absolutely insane. And for him to have 63 points and 6 assists is phenomenal. I'll be completely honest. That's phenomenal. And LeBron, for him to only have 25 and 6, that's still a good game. It's just that you could have passed more.
Moving up to 25 points. I'm afraid that pales compared to 63 points, especially when Michael Jordan shot a higher shooting percentage and had the same number of assists as Mr. I'm a pass first guy. Personally, I think if you're going to have 6 turnovers, you'd better have a lot more than 6 assists.
Long range, Jordan hit. You talk about birds, sheer determination. At certain points of a game, Michael Jordan has those same qualities.
Those same qualities, but much later in his career, right, fanboys? Wrong. This is season 2, his first playoff experience. And what else do LeBron fans do? They make a lot of excuses. One of the excuses oftentimes is age. Either too old, too young.
Okay, with the age thing, I'll be completely honest on that. Okay, when he's around his 40s, it kind of makes more sense. He won't be as good, but people try to treat him like he's the best. So if you want to be treated like that, they're going to hold you to that. So I completely agree with whatever happens. I'm not biased at all. But, him being young, he was straight out of high school, so he had time to develop and actually get better in the NBA. So there generally isn't an excuse. I'm not a biased LeBron fan. I'm completely honest.
Things just aren't ever quite perfect for LeBron James. Well, LeBron, you've got the bases covered with this one because you got swept when you were young, you got swept in your prime, and you got swept while you were old. Let's talk about age and experience. They were the same age, interestingly enough. And LeBron James had 4 seasons in the NBA under his belt. This was only Michael Jordan's 2nd season.
What? That says a lot, bro. That says a lot.
Now, because LeBron James's birthday is at the end of December and Michael Jordan's is in late February, LeBron was further into being 23 than Michael Jordan was. This is a big waste of time to me. You're either the GOAT or you're not. Part of being the GOAT is that your age doesn't really matter. You overcome circumstances and are a leader, or you're not. Prior to the NBA, Jordan had already won a college championship and an Olympic gold medal. LeBron only has himself to blame for entering the NBA when he entered the NBA. In fact, he tried to enter the NBA even earlier. LeBron's opponent, Tony...
Wait, LeBron wanted to go to the NBA even earlier than what he did? What? Chat, how big was LeBron? I know LeBron was very big coming out of high school and everyone was talking about him, but how hyped was he?
Parker won his first championship at age 21 and got another one this season, largely thanks to LeBron James. Maybe he's the GOAT. I find it interesting that LeBron fans put so much emphasis on the fact that Michael Jordan couldn't get past the world champion Celtics in his second and third seasons.
Yeah, you can't even diss Jordan. If he couldn't go past him, he was literally fresh into the NBA.
When LeBron James didn't even make the playoffs until his third season. So LeBron fans are taking comfort in the fact that LeBron didn't get his team to the playoffs. Thus, there wasn't even an opportunity to be swept. Failing before you can fail on a bigger stage is apparently a form of success. That's ridiculous enough as it is, but then this becomes ludicrous when you realize those same people also want to take comfort in making it to the finals a bunch of times, but losing more times than you won in those finals. So Jordan can't get a sorry team into the playoffs his second season and get swept without your ridicule. But LeBron can make it to the finals and get swept and get defeated overall more times than he's won, and that's fine. Speaking of being swept, let's take a quick look back at LeBron's history. While Jordan only went upward over his career, LeBron's career is staggered with epic failures, despite team hopping and roster rigging.
2011 has to be one of this guy's worst years in the NBA, man.
And this is how close Michael Jordan came to not being swept by the Celtics. If we're going to judge Michael Jordan for being swept when it only took 3 games to secure the series, maybe we
What? It took only 3 games back then? Chat, was that actually a thing?
should also consider LeBron's gentleman sweeps. I want people to answer this before I get into the next section. Are you a fan of today's game? Do you like the 3-point game?
I like the 3-point game, but I feel like it's a little bit excessive. You know, I feel like you can lower it a little bit, but I like the 3-point game though.
Some people think that it's helped bring the NBA to its downfall. Other people think it's great. Well, what you didn't have with Michael Jordan was someone who wasn't a 3-point shooter shooting 3-pointers anyway. In fact, he didn't attempt any 3-pointers
What? In that 63-point game, no 3-pointers?
in those big scoring games. And that's a little bit exhausting to think about. 49 points and 63 points, and none of it had the boost of the extra points of a 3-pointer.
Wow.
That means you were watching somebody play their ass off.
He should have been tired an hour and a half ago.
LeBron goes 2 for 6 in game 1. Yeah, if you want to see somebody miss 4 out of 6 shots and forgive it because 2 of those shots equaled 6 points, great. You just described what's wrong with the NBA. Next game, LeBron goes 2 for 6 again.
Again?
Then he goes 0 for 2. And in the final deciding game, he
0 for 5. This is unacceptable, bro. Like, genuinely.
goes 0 for 5 from 3. But Mark Jackson will tell you that the other guys need to step up and hit their shots. In Michael Jordan's game 3, he attempted 1 3-pointer and made 1 3-pointer. Earlier I talked about what hasn't changed, like people shooting in LeBron's face, or LeBron's help without the help, not being able to score at the end of a game. But what things have changed?
Why does he do that? Like, why? Just play the defense, man. We're in the finals, man. Come on. We can really change the whole trajectory of the NBA. The Cavs could have won a chip in 2007.
Here's one.
James, shot clock at 2. Offensive foul.
This was correctly called an offensive foul in 2007. LeBron doesn't like a defender in front of him. He just uses his size to bowl right over the top. Lower the shoulder, follow through. This may be one of the most crucial changes that has taken place in the NBA, is to allow LeBron James offensive fouls. This may be the difference between him having 0 rings and the 2.2 rings that he has now. Speaking of things that have been changed to
2.2.
favor LeBron James, take a look at this travel violation committed by Tim Duncan.
I do think it does. It gets San Antonio's attention
That wasn't a travel. Was it?
as Duncan travels.
Now think about what LeBron James does today. With no whistle. Well, I think that was a pretty good first look back at the first time that LeBron James was swept and Michael Jordan was swept. An interesting journey through NBA history as well, and rule changes, and the desperate attempt to crown a king that never should have been. Let me know.
Chat, we gotta talk about this one for sure. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all, bro. Like, the game of LeBron, I'm lost for words. That 2007 series against the Spurs, he was just chucking shots. And I didn't know that his teammate dropped 31 points. Like, I genuinely never known that ever. He had actually pretty decent players. There's a reason to why he was in the finals. And, he couldn't make it all the way to the finals without help. So they had to be good. But, chat, let me know down below what you guys think. And, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, man. And I'll catch y'all next time. Yes, sir.